Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. Once again, I am up very early on a Sunday. In fact, I've already been driving for a little while and I've been up since about 6 a.m. Now you might be wondering, why am I up so early on a weekend? And the answer is, I am not going to a Cars and Coffee meet like 30 miles away. I'm going to something much more fun. I'm actually heading up to Roseman, California to Willow Springs International Raceway. That's right, I'm taking the R35 GT-R out for its very first track day. We're going to be racing on Streets of Willow, and I can't wait to see how this beast does out on the track. Before we get there, I thought I'd run you through everything that's been done to the GT-R so you can get a general idea of how it compares to some other GT-Rs out there. And I'm going to let you know that my GT-R is pretty much stock. I mean, there's not a lot that's been done to it. I do have an HKSY pipe and a MAP catback exhaust that were on the car when I bought it. I did install Speed by Design's rotors, pads, and steel braided brake lines. As you saw last week, I did install a Torque Solutions brake brace, and that's pretty much it. So we're going to get to see how a mainly stock GT-R does on the track. As for wheels and tires, it's actually the stock Black Edition wheels, and I have Continental Extreme Contact tires on there. Now, I do wish that I had Michelin Pilot Sports, but when I bought the car, it had the Extreme Contact tires on there, and they still have good tread life on them, so I don't see the point in buying the Michelin Pilot Sports now, but I will in the future. So I think that may affect things a little bit. From what I understand, the Michelin Pilot Sports are a better compound. But either way, I'm going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to see how a mainly stock GT-R does out on the track.
now that I've got track on, has been on this track, gotta memorialize it.
And there it is, my first track day with the R35 GT-R. I do feel like I do need to possibly apologize. There was a few times when I had the GoPro 9 in the cabin here and the time code read 00, so I would go around a couple times and for some reason it may not have recorded. So I'm kind of worried that I might not have enough footage to cut together a really good video for you guys. And if that's the case, I'm just going to apologize now. The GoPro just didn't want to work with me. And it wasn't even overheating, it was just malfunctioning to malfunction. With that being said, I do have some observations about the GT-R as far as taking it on the track. The first thing being is that this car had an amazing Achilles heel today, to the point that I was driving very conservatively, and that was the brake pads. Now, for those of you that aren't aware, I may have talked about at the beginning of the video, I do have Speed by Design's rotors, pads, steel braided brake lines, and of course I got the Torque Solution brake brace that I put on last week. And I can tell you that on about the second or third time around the track, I was coming down the main straightaway and I got to that big sweeping corner and these brakes turned to bubble gum. They had almost no grip whatsoever. Now, fortunately, that corner is an exit area and a skid pad, so it has a lot of pavement, nowhere to go off into the dust, there's no walls, but that definitely scared the hell out of me. And so for the rest of the day, I was taking the track very conservatively. I wasn't really running wide open throttle. I was braking very early into corners because I just had no confidence in the brakes. And that just goes to show you how important brakes are. Now, I know that's on me. I'm running the Speed by Design pads and they're more of a street pad. And so I do promise next time I'll get track rated pads, and that should hopefully get rid of that issue. I do feel bad about saying this because Chris is a good guy. He does a lot for the GTR community. He's the one that owns Speed by Design, but really his pads are good for a daily driven car, but you start getting those pads hot and they just fail way fast. Now that also kind of goes to another thing I noticed about the GTR is just how heavy this car is, especially in a tight, twisty track like Streets of Willow. You become very aware of just how heavy this car is. Now, maybe if I had proper track pads, I would not have gotten that sensation, but like I said, it was the setup I had. That does actually go to something else that's very interesting. I'm kind of conflicted now because the wrench head tuner of me wants to take the car FBO. You know, I want the intakes, the EcoTech, the E85. But I'm realizing that really I don't need that much power. The way the car is with just the wide pipe and the catback exhaust was more power than I possibly needed on Streets of Willow. Now, yeah, maybe if I was on a wider street track or maybe an oval track, and maybe if I was building a quarter-mile car, which I really don't want to do, I'm not really in a quarter-mile, maybe doing that would make sense. But I think what I need to focus on right now is getting the pads taken care of, the brake issue, and I kind of want to say suspension, but actually the stock suspension on this were pretty good. Putting it into R mode, I really didn't feel like there was too much body roll. I felt the car felt pretty darn planted, so stock suspension is pretty good. Now, also attached to that, I have the Continental Extreme Contact tires, and I thought they were going to be the issue for the day, because I know a lot of people like the Michelin Pilot Sports. In fact, when these tires wear out, that's probably what I'm going to get. But the tires actually gripped pretty well. There was only a few times where they kind of let loose a little bit, but it was only for a moment, and then everything was fine. But there again, that might be because, like I said, I really wasn't pushing the car as hard as I would have liked to because that whole brake issue. But all in all, I think I had a good time. I maybe didn't go out on the track as much as I would have, but I just, like I said, I lost all confidence in the car almost completely because of the brake issue. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go hit that thumbs up button to let me know. It does help the channel out a lot. If you'd like to see more automotive, particularly GTR content in the future, go and subscribe to my channel. You can now follow me on all forms of social media, which include Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. I'll leave links to all those in the description down below. If you'd like to support the channel, I do have the JD Archer shop. If you go to jdarcher.bigcartel.com, you can see a limited section of hats, t-shirts, and hoodies I've designed that are for sale. If you have any questions about my time on the track that I didn't discuss in this video, or if you have comments about ways I could make my driving better, go and post in the comment section down below. I will respond to you. Do realize that, like I said, I haven't been on track in about 10, 15 years, and this is only like my second or third time, so in no way do I consider myself a pro race car driver. I do not consider myself one of the best ones out there, but you know what? I did get seat time. I did have a good time, so if you are going to comment on my driving, just please keep it civil a little bit. Either way, I thank you all for watching, and until next time, forget everything else, focus on the finish line.